My name is Michael Michaels, and I'm a reporter for the newsreel. And I've spent my whole life dedicated to the truth. Tired of the shit, Catherine. Getting too old for the shit, Catherine. Thank you all, thank you very much. Thank you, hey, thank you very much. No, there's no flashing, nobody's flashing.
Well, nice to finally meet the famous Michael Michaels.
I'm just a reporter. I'm just Michael Michaels. I don't know what to do. Why is everybody looking at me for answers? We have a breaking news story. Little Jimmy is caught in the Wonder Wheel again. We're getting tired. We're getting tired of this shit, Jimmy. Who gives a shit? It's about as good as it gets. It's about as good as it gets. That's because I'm in a $3,000 suit, Catherine. Tired of this shit. What else? Oh, ooh. Kathy, where's my coffee? Because my dumbass news team thought this was a good idea. I quit again. Personally, I had my family murdered in cold blood. And the guy who did it, he's now my boss. You're watching News Michaels with Michaels, and maybe I'm a little drunk.
You say you want to give the truth to the world. Now, I won't do it myself, but I'll let you do that. Under my rules. The truth with Michael Michaels. Just picture it. Has a good ring to it, doesn't it? Your very own talk show. Network syndication. Worldwide broadcast. Michael Michaels brings you the truth.
All right. Yeah. Calm your tits. Everybody relax. Freaking relax. You're all getting your $20 at the end of the show. You don't need to make it. You don't need to make it look fake. All right. I had an ex-wife for that. Now, welcome to The Truth with the Michael Michaels, reporter Michael Michaels. This is not newsreel. This is my very own talk show. That's right, we have gone prime time, aka the Grimm Hollywood Show. What a POS. All right, well, what happened today, folks? What happened over the weekend? We had E3 happen. E3. What is that short for? Everybody's everywhere, everything. What is this, a Buddhist conference? All right. Joke's not landing today. E3, it's a video game thing where they debut all the video games that are happening we overheard that Halo's got a big comeback. I hear that they're going to be coming out with what's it, Catherine? You're big into video games, aren't you, Catherine? They're coming out with a John Wick Master Chief skin. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Am I right? What else happened in the news? This was an interesting story. I don't know if it's true or not. Catherine, can you validate if this story is true or not? I'm reading reports right now that John Oliver was caught driving across the border with a whole bunch of assault weapons. Yeah, he said I'll teach those motherfuckers to call me Owl Boy once more. Oh, what's that, Catherine? Yeah, story's not true? Shit. Okay. Moving along. I don't know if this story is true or not. Maybe you can validate it or not, Catherine. Joe Biden was caught driving across the border with a whole bunch of assault-style weapons. That story's also not true? Okay, all right. Well, fuck me, right? I mean, it's like I've got to do everything around here, right? It's like I've got to do everything around here. I don't even know how to use a freaking computer. All right, well, we might as well move it along, folks. Move it along. Hey, this is who we're interviewing today. His name's HarryButts1. He's a Twitch streamer. He's a great dude, I think. Well, we'll find out. How about you decide, audience? How about you decide? I guess play the Harry Butts reel. Harry Butts? Huh. I'm gonna ask him about that. All right, well, I'm gonna go for lunch. Sit tight, audience. I'll be back in like 3.5 hours. Yeah, that's about right.
Threw a Molotov.
Harry, you're being hunted.
I know. They just tried to land on me.
He's down. Oh, that's an enemy trying to run me over. I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna get in this dune buggy. Take off. Fuck, dude, that was intense. That was awesome.
Man, I just got two of these guys trying to fly in on me. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I know, we're in the freaking lumberyard.
Oh, here's the...
There's a vehicle chasing me.
I cracked him.
Harry, if you wanna...
He's down. Go run him
figure
over.
that one out.
Right there.
You can be part of our regiment. Hey?
Yeah. Be part of WeID. What are you doing? What are you doing? If he saw...
So you...
That was a tablespoon of each at the same time.
Let's check one out. Let's get it.
Okay, now I see you guys live. Now we're live. I'm watching it.
Babe, do you love me? Babe, do you love me? He loves me so much, he's crying.
Wow, just do the second one.
I'm getting it. Oh shit, this one's thick. Oh shit. This one's like a picante. Okay, here. Hurry.
No, dude, that's not a...
Hurry, babe, it's gonna swallow my hand.
This is Surfer James, and he broke his foot pretty badly. Was never able to surf again. Guess he should have been eating bananas. Come on down to a store near you and get yourself some bananas. Potassium. So, we are here. We are back with the Harry Butts. It is a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. But what's with the name?
Oh, yeah.
Why
You
Harry?
caught me on that one.
Why Harry Butts? Surely
it
your
used
rectum
to
is
be-
pristine.
No. What would we say? It looks like a wig slammed in a suitcase. People ask me that. No, it used to be when we did the streaming. My son lives across the country, so it was our way to bond. So it was me and my two friends, and they were girls, and they were going to be playing with us. So I don't know why. Maybe I smoked a little too much. I don't know what I was thinking. But I named it Cream, Cheese, and Crackers. I don't know. Don't ask, dude. I don't know. So I got a ton of crap for it. And then I just switched just to something stupid. And I wanted one of those names that Bart Simpson used to say to the bartender. You know, he'd look for Jacques Strap or something and then laugh and hang up. So
I love
Harry
it.
Butts.
So Harry
Everybody calls me
Butts.
Harry Balls, I guess, but gets reactions.
It truly does. It stands out. It really stands out. What is your name actually Harry, or do you even want to share that? Your name pretty much is Harry to everybody who knows you here.
Yeah, no, my real name's Scott, but
Okay,
yeah, Harry.
okay.
I mean, Sugar, she even calls me Harry when we're kind of out on the town, and I don't know, it's kind of going that way. I wouldn't mind. It's kind of a cool old school name.
I love it. So you just mentioned Sugar. Sugar is your right-hand man in the Warzone field when you're streaming.
Yeah,
She's got your
my
back.
jam.
You've got hers. What's the deal with her name? Sugar Drawers. Where did that come from?
I made that up. I think it was from what was the movie? There's this old movie. It's one of the eras with Gene Wilder, and it was called Yellowbeard, and it's this really low budget B-rate pirate movie, but it's kind of slapstick comedy. And yeah, one of the pirates calls them sugar drawers. And as a kid, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that drawers was a slang for, pants, panties, whatever. Like sweet pants is essentially what she's calling them. So yeah, I don't know why it popped in my head. So I made that name for her. And I think she played 10 games. She didn't even know what her name was. So she didn't care. So she just stuck with it. Now she's Sugar, so she can't get rid of it. But,
I love it.
yeah,
I love
she
it.
did, yeah.
So you mainly play Warzone. You're a Warzone streamer. Would you consider yourself a Warzone streamer?
Yeah. I mean, I've tried a couple other games, but it's kind of hard. I mean, I don't know. It's boring. I have a hard time talking when nobody's in there. So playing a boring game, with no action, like, Valheim's kind of a good one. But I mean, trying to play that, keep a conversation going. I don't have your talent, so it's a little rough.
No, I'm just getting by the skin of my teeth here, and we have people who write the questions for me. So one of the questions that is written here says, former combat vet. So what was your favorite animal to work with? Dogs, cats, fish?
No, veteran.
Oh, not veterinarian. Not veterinarian.
Vet.
Oh, not. Oh, okay,
no.
vet.
I'm
As
not
in-
veteran.
Okay, I pictured you out there with a couple of German shepherds inside the
Combating
ring.
cats or something? Like
Yeah,
dog fighting?
fighting the evil cat army.
No, not at all. No. Being a vet would be cool, but no.
Okay,
Combat
so
veteran. I was in the Marines.
that's way different than. Okay, so that ruins. Come on, guys, can we get some better questions on the show here? Can we get to our research?
I'll
Right.
answer animal questions if you want. We'll go for it.
Well, we'll go through with the next question then. If you were a veterinarian, what's your favorite dog to work on?
Australian Shepherds would have to be my favorite dog.
Why the Australian?
Well, I got mine. His little name's Casey. I'm sure you've heard him barking on the stream, or I've held him up a couple of times. But he's a little tricolor. They're good. When you want to play Frisbee, they'll play Frisbee. And when you want to sleep, they'll sleep. But I got him when my son was 6 months old. And they're both, well, he'll be 15. My son's 15. My dog will be 15 in November.
Wow.
So he's starting to show some age, but he's a good dude. He's just sitting here chewing it right here. And he's kind of freaked out by your mask at first.
What mask?
I'm sorry, your face, your beautiful face.
Thank you very much. Dogs frighten me. Dogs, all animals, they kind of scare me. I don't really know what's going on in their heads.
You don't have any pets?
I don't have any pets. I've never touched an animal. They frighten me. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Get attacked by a dog or something?
No, 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 no. God, no. Please, no. Those I wake up in the thick of the night, blood and sweat dripping down my body. Oh, the dogs are on me. The dogs are on me.
I don't know, man. I've never met a person that didn't like a dog. That's not true. You're the second person I've met that doesn't like dogs.
Michael Vick.
Well, next question, I guess.
Next question. So, you were in the military. You are in the military. You did the gun things. You did the gun things.
The gun things. I got out 19 years ago.
19 years ago. So you were in Vietnam.
Yeah, at the tail end of it, 1998 to 2003.
Okay, so that wasn't Vietnam, but close.
No, I've flown by Vietnam, but yeah.
Wow.
Not that was. No, I was the desert guy. So we went to the stands, the Afghanistan, Pakistan.
Holy
Iraq,
cow.
like that. So
that's somewhere in South America, isn't it?
South of somewhere. I don't know. I was just on an ocean and then ended up there.
What was that? Why did you do that? What made you want to strap those boots on and run out into the deserts?
Oh, you know what? I was actually with my friends at this party, and I want to say this is like 95, something like that. And we were, smoking the tree, and then we were watching. I don't know, for some reason, that military movie everybody loves, Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
And have you seen it?
No.
Okay. Well, it's famous for.
I know that scene about sucking the golf ball through a vacuum.
Yeah, through the garden hose. Yeah.
Garden holes. That's it.
So that guy was a real drill instructor. So it has it's supposedly the best depiction of boot camp. So me, I can do that. Somebody's like, yeah, I dare you. So I just went the next day and signed up and did that and paid for my college. And yeah, so essentially, if I wouldn't have been there watching some movie, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Wow. Holy cow. So what was the moment when you were going through your training, or was it when you made it to the desert overseas that you went, okay, this isn't a movie anymore? What was that moment?
I think that, it's all you kind of get lost in the whole experience. You know what I mean? When you get out of boot camp, it's kind of your new life. And for a lot of people, it's the first time you're solo by yourself. So, you put a few hundred early 20s people in barracks, you're going to have your fair amount of trouble and fun and whatever. So it was always kind of caught up in it. But I guess the war thing, we were on the ship, we were on the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, and there's this guy, I'm not sure if you remember, his name was John Walker Lind, and he was, quote unquote, the American Taliban. And he was all over in the news. Well, he came onto our ship, we had captured him, then he was on our ship. And I guess that's the first time it kind of struck me as being real. And then when we got on the hovercrafts and they delivered us to the sand, that was it, yeah. That's when you kind of realize, that's when, it's business time, I guess, is when it hit me.
Wow. Holy cow. What a rush.
Yeah.
That must have changed you as a person.
I mean, from my point of view, my perspective, I'm the same, but I'm sure it did. I mean, I get maybe a little angrier in traffic than the normal person. I mean, I'm not going to, grab grenades and start throwing them everywhere. But yeah, I mean, when you get out.
Would you if you had them?
I mean, if I had them, maybe in the water. I don't know.
My weapon of choice.
Yeah, I mean, if you have grenades, if you got grenades.
Why not? I'm just curious because I've seen a few war films and stuff like that, and it's always been intriguing to me. I've had a great respect for military training. The sort of wake up, do your bed, get your ducks in line sort of thing. Do you still have that sort of routine set up in your life now that you're No,
Not at all.
not at
No,
all.
no. Ask Sugar. I'm the messiest dude you'll ever meet. But you know, something's gonna blow your mind is this whole thing that's depicted. You wake up and you make your bed and bounce a quarter off it. In boot camp, I made my bed twice, and
No.
but yeah, what you do, you get 2 blankets, so you make your bed once, and since you have to get up super early and everything's rush, 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 everybody just sleeps on top of that, and then you just kind of rub your hand over the top, and then you sleep on top of it. That way, you never have to make the bed again. You make it perfect once; it'll always pass inspection.
Wow.
And then in the barracks, we would do the same thing. Everybody just made their beds super tight, and then they would go out and get a comforter, and they'd sleep on top of the bed. And so that whole myth about Marines making their beds every day and it's fight tight 45 angle, yeah, we do that once or twice. That's it. And then we don't make our bed for 5 years.
Little life hacks out there for any dream people who want to be in the military. You don't got to make your bed. There you go.
Yeah, I couldn't make a bed right now. Like I said, Sugar, she yells at me. So
Hey, I don't have a bed. I sleep on Catherine's couch.
hey, guy on the couch, man.
I would never want to be in the military, mainly because the guns are too heavy for my weak, brittle arms.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Some are. I don't know how the machine gunners do it. That gun's got to weigh, 30 pounds. Like walking around with that. I mean, I could never do it. So that's always the jacked dude. But
well, I'm sure you've heard. I'm sure you always hear about the serious stories in the military. The people probably ask you, oh, so what'd you see out there? I don't want to know anything about that. That's for you to sleep your restless nights. What I want to know about is all the funny shit that happened in the barracks. I want to know about the juicy stuff because there was probably some downtime while you guys were over there.
Yeah, there was. I mean, out in the desert, it's more antagonizing and getting each other in a couple of fights or whatever. But there is this story. Stop me if it's not appropriate for your show. But
oh, hey, no, dude, you should have seen
you'll
last
like
episode.
we call him the Phantom Whacker. So listen to the Phantom Whacker. So when I forget exactly where we were, I think we were in Afghanistan, but we would have this 8-foot berm around the tents, so the I guess the local people couldn't come in and just fire at you. But they had these openings every so often, and out there we actually had porta potties, like porta johns. But because it was in our camp, you had to have somebody go out there with a rifle and like kind of watch over while you went in there and did your business. Well, we were out there one time, and next to me I could just hear this sound, and it's like I don't know if I could do it. I might be able to do it. Sound like this. Did you hear that?
I can put that one together.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay. So we hear that, but there's nobody else on watch. We're like, what the hell is that, right? But I don't want to go opening all the doors. I didn't know what it was, and for some reason it reminded me of like a chipmunk eating something. So I finished what I'm doing. I'm like, I swear to God, that guy was, in there beating off. So then we go back to bed, and the next day I was asking something like, yeah, I heard this really weird. I thought it was a chipmunk, and the guy's like, yeah, I heard that too, but nobody was on watch, and we couldn't figure it out. So then we figured out somebody was, going out there and doing their thing. And we did find out it was a lieutenant. Somebody found out it was a lieutenant sneaking out by himself, which is weird because he's an officer, right? So he's in charge of everybody. And yeah, so he was doing that. So we call him the Phantom Whacker because nobody saw him going in or out. He eventually got caught, got busted, just because we saw him going out there alone, which you're not supposed to do. So we figured it was him. But
the Phantom Whacker, how'd he get caught? You just saw him.
Well, somebody saw him going out by himself without a watch, which you're not allowed to do.
Oh.
So we just kind of put two and two together.
Why was he so loud about it if he was trying to be sneaky? That defeat the purpose.
I don't know, but I mean, the thing is, you can. Well, let me give you another story, right? Like of how you could do it. Right? So that was the guy with that shame. He was the Phantom Whacker. He stayed hidden, but we all knew it and made fun of him, whatever. So in my tent, there was about 10 people, 5 on each side. You have your cots lined up, just boom, 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 boom. So you got about 5 feet of room in between each one of you. And when it's dark, it's dark. It's dead dark. So what we would do is we would have water balls. We get these 3-liter water bottles. And the general rule was you got rest whenever you could. So it eventually, the longer you were there, people stopped going to the bathroom, let's say, to do the number 2. But they would just pee in a bottle and then they would move it to the right side of the bed. And that way, you always knew you could drink from the left, not the right, right? And that's just what I know. It sounds gross, man, but that's just what people did, And then the next day, we just go through the pee away. But if you're only sleeping like 4 hours a night, and then you have watch on top of that, like every minute counts. So that's just what we did. So the watch would come in. You usually hear him tripping over these bottles or hit a bottle or something, whatever. I don't want to make it sound like it's a tent to pee, but every cot had one or two. So you would have this watch come in like every 2 hours, and they would keep the flashlight down and walk through the tent, just make sure everything was cool, and then out the other side. Well, one night, I was on watch, and I hear that sound again, right? So I'm thinking the Phantom Whacker came into our tent. Like maybe he's just like, that's his thing. I don't know. Maybe he's got some weird fetish or something. But I should probably preface this story. When we would get letters, we would only get mail call every few weeks. So we would make bets on who would get the Dear John letter. Somebody was always getting dumped, but all the wives would spray their perfume on their letters and, like sexy stuff. So what we would do is tear the names off so nobody knows, whose wife it was, because that'd be weird. And then we just pass them around and we would like read, sexy stuff and smell the different letters, right? And that was our, entertainment or whatever. So as we're doing that, I'm on watch, going back to the watch. I'm going through the tent and I hear that sound, that chipmunk sound, right? I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm kind of looking in the corners, right? I have my flashlight off because I'm like, I'm going to find out who that is and bust him. I'm thinking it's the lieutenant, right? So I'm squinting as hard as I can. Like I said, it's dead dark. I mean, you can't see your hand in front of your face. I'm just looking around. I just get closer and closer, and I know it's a couple of feet from me, right? So then I aim the light where, I'm listening. Boom. Aim the light where I would assume the head would be, and all I see is this. My light hit the guy's face, perfect like this, like he's right here. And he was doing his thing with one hand. He had his left hand, he had a letter. I don't know whose letter it was, but he had one of the letters. And then on his face, he had a black stocking, like, the thigh highs that a girl would use. He had one of those, and it was pulled down over his nose. So, because he was using both hands, right? And how he was reading the letter, I don't know what he was doing, but he explained, like, he had no shame. The next day, he was like, yeah, man, I had to hold the letter, do my thing. And he goes, this thing smells like peaches. I'm like, I don't want to smell that. And then, we all kind of wanted to smell it, right? And it smelled delicious. It smelled like some kind of orange citrusy. It was like pretty refreshing. But yeah, so we were going to make fun of him, but he owned it. Which is my first lesson.
You can't really make fun of that when he's like, yeah, I had the stocking over there. He's like, yeah. You would too. You would too.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
He did, like when he saw me, his eyes were bright, and then he just kind of kept going.
No.
He was just like, I think he was there, the oath. I swear to God. But he wasn't looking at me. So I just turned the light off. It was like, okay, and then walked back out the tent and went on watch. And then the next day, like, I told everybody, right? Like you're supposed to tell everybody in Razum. And he didn't care. He's like, yeah.
She's like, yeah.
And that was it. We're just like, okay, well, I guess that's done. We'll find something else to make fun of.
Maybe. So that's some sort of a life hack life hack number 2 from Harry Butts is that you own up to something, you're scot-free for life. You don't need to be.
Yeah.
People will not make fun of you. You go, yeah, I was touching myself wearing a stocking over my head in the middle of the night, reading somebody else's letters. Yeah, so what?
Dude, I'm telling you, I'll never forget that. That was in 2001. I'll never forget that. PTSD.
Yeah, some people have PTSD of other things. Harry has PTSD of a man with a stocking over his head.
And they were caught a week apart, man. I think maybe everybody was just reaching that point to where like you had to depressurize, I guess.
You needed some sort of release. I bet those letters would have been insane though, if you think about it. Like descriptive and stuff. Who would? You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm sort of with that guy. Maybe I'd be out there in the middle of the night.
He didn't care. Yeah, I still, again, I don't know how he was reading it, but yeah, some of them are pretty sexy. It's the general like, "Guess I'm gonna do to you when I get home," and it was just whatever. It kind of got stale after a week, but the good thing was the Dear John letters. Which were like, just...
So you just said that. That actually, I've never made that connection. I knew the phrase "Dear John," but I never knew that that's what it meant. Was like "see ya."
Yeah, it's a "see you later" type of thing.
Wow.
Those were always the best ones, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, the little dirty talk ones were kind of cool because you're just out there with nothing to do. But the Dear John ones were always great because they were always different, and more often than not, they were blaming the dude. They were blaming the Marine for being gone.
Oh no.
And yeah, and then some would be like trying to get. I feel like when they made that decision to leave, they would get angry. So they were kind of angry and trying to talk trash about them like it was their fault. Or some of them would just straight up say, "Hey, man, the guy came over to mow the lawn, and
no,
yeah, and that would be it. It would be they were always different, and they were always like kind of nailing the coffin, but
they would straight up
but they
say
were always
like Bobby, our neighbor. They'd straight up say that in the letter.
Yeah, I mean, some of them would like had no shame. They'd be like, "Hey, remember when you thought I was banging like so and so?" And I was. But we were over there for so long that it was every mailbag that would come in, there would be at least 2 without fail, week to week. And we always kind of were like making bets on who would be next, just because of like the tone of like their back and forth. And I mean, some people were really brokenhearted, obviously. Some just laughed. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
Wow.
But it was just a really, really odd situation that like the disconnect that people had when they would get those.
Wow.
Odd.
Well, you mentioned that your son is 15 now, and so that means that you had your son when you came back, if my math is correct?
I got out end of 2003, and he was born in 2007.
Okay, so you got to work.
Right?
You got to work out there. Prowling the
Yeah.
streets.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
Hey, babies. Hey, babes, I'm a combat vet, and no, that ain't about dogs and cats and fish.
Yeah. That thing's still funny, man.
Well, you have sort of a famous story that that's been going around in social media of a naked man running down the runway. I've seen reports of this.
Where'd you see that?
It's all over the interwebs. I don't know if it has any truth to it. Maybe you can.
Is it really? Yeah.
It's world famous.
I didn't know that. Did I tell you that? How'd you know that?
No. Yeah, it's all over. I'm seeing it on my newsreel right here.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So that was in Iraq. Okay, it's another gross story, man. I don't know why all my stories are like involving poop or chipmunks or whatever, but
that's what this whole show's about.
Okay, poop and chipmunks. So this was in Basra, Iraq, and they called it VD, which is not venereal disease. They just called it VD because people started vomiting and getting diuretic, and they don't know if we were gas or what, but you would just be totally fine, have a drink of water, and all of a sudden just violent everything coming out. It hit like that. Ooh. So we were all kind of wondering like who would get it next. By now the airport was totally empty, like they had cleared it. So these little trucks on the outside is where we were, little comm vans. And the people that get this VD, they would walk them through the other side of the airport, and they had, 3 of those tents that I told you about. They're really dark at night. They didn't know what it was, so we're just trying to like segregate people to kind of control what's going on. Well, one night when on shift, and it was about, 8 p.m. or something, I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden, just everything. I'm like, oh shit, I got it. So I had to go quarantine myself, run through the airport, and I got to the trailer, and you would be in PT gear. So you always had to have your rifle on you. You always had to have your helmet, flak jacket. But your PT gear is just a t-shirt and shorts. And these shorts they're made of this kind of silky material, but they're the length of those, those marathon runners you see down the side of the road. They have the slit up the side of their shorts. And you're just like, come on, man. Like those type of shorts.
Yeah.
It was those. So I have my rifle, right? My flak jacket on, those tiny shorts, a helmet and boots, and that's it. And that's it. So I go and check myself into the vomiting diuretic thing, and super quickly it happens. You get super, super dehydrated, and you get that dizzy feeling, and you can't walk.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh shit, this is how I'm gonna go. This weird, whatever this is, and so they put us in the tent. I'm like, I need an IV or something. I'm like dying here. Like I'm not even sweating. I'm in the middle of the desert, and they're like, well, we can't give IVs because they didn't understand what it was. So they would just make you those 3-liter bottles that I told you about that you only drink from the left. So they gave us those, and we would drink it, and then within a couple of minutes of drinking it, you would throw it up. And being the military doctor or whatever, they're just like, well, some's still staying in you. So that's how they would get water. You just had to chug this stuff and throw it up and hope some stayed in there, right? And your throat would get all raspy. So you had to be active in doing that, but this thing knocked you out. You would sleep, and then the more sleep you got, more dehydrated, and it just turned into this circle. So I did do as much as I could, threw up. But then I couldn't pee. Like, I was just empty of water. So I would wake up throughout the night and keep drinking this. And then I woke up and I had that feeling like something's coming out, right? Well, the bathrooms were over the runway, and it's a huge runway. I mean, you're talking like a couple 100 feet. Like
the planes land in on, and
yeah, and they're giant planes. So, I mean, this runway is just huge. And so I'm trying to like illustrate this on the camera for you. So if we're looking at the map, can you see that? Okay, so this is where the tent is, right? And then we have little case bands, like little train kind of containers right here. And they're speckled out, over that. So it's almost like this kind of dotted staging area or whatever. And then it's the runway. And then it's this this little shitter that we, sorry.
Oh, you can swear. You can swear all you want. We'll get to that later in the show.
Yes. All right. So they had this, and it was basically like if you were to take a wall off a room, so it's shaped like a U, right? Facing the desert, because you always had to have eyes out in the desert. And then it was basically just two holes. And sat on the plywood, did your thing, and then went back. Well, all this fine dust and all this airplanes landing weren't contributing to people's health, so they would go out with a water truck and spray everything kind of around the camp to keep the sand moist, right? And they put this, excuse me, kind of near the shitter, so all this water, would drip out of this or whatever. So around the shitter was really muddy. So, yeah, so that whole thing being staged, I woke up in the middle of the night, had a fart, right? But it wasn't going to be a fart. So I grabbed my rifle, and I told you we always have to have a shadow, right? Well, everybody was so sick, and whoever was supposed to be watching us, watching the tent was gone, so I didn't have anybody. So I'm like, well, I can't shit my pants in here. I've already done it like 3 times, so the only thing I had was these little silky, like, runner shorts or whatever. That was it. So I'm like, I can't ruin these. So I take my rifle and I'm running across. So mind you, I'm in my helmet, flat jacket, these little tiny shorts, boots, and a rifle. I'm like running like a little dude across the thing, and I don't want to get caught by the sentries. And looking back, this was a really bad idea. We'll get into this in a second. But those little case bands that I was telling you about, so I'm sneaking around those like heavy metal, or not heavy metal, but what is it? The Metal Gear,
Yeah.
And so I'm going around there, and when it's all clear, I run across the runway. And right now, it's like one of those things where you're coming around the corner and you're near a bathroom and you got to go real bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your body's like, I'm dedicating this, and if it's locked, well, you're just fucked. So I got to that point, and I came around the corner. And when I came around the corner, I totally slipped in the mud. And when I slipped in the mud, I fell on my rifle, did this like little roll, because I was hauling ass. Came around, and just that foot came out. And I slipped and hit. My helmet flew off. I rolled. I shit my pants. And then I'm laying in the mud. And like if you've seen the movie Predator, when Schwarzenegger's hiding from the alien, and then he kind of puts himself up for sacrifice, he's all covered in mud.
Yeah.
That's what I looked like. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. But like the pressure of falling just shot all that shit out. Well, it's black. I don't know where my flashlight is. It's in the mud somewhere. But now I knew that I had discharged, right? But I can't tell what mud is and what shit is. So I'm just laying there like, what the fuck am I going to do? But I still had to go a little bit. So instead of just going, right, because I'm already covered in shit, I actually go up and sit on the hole and finish off, right? Well, then I didn't have anything to... I know this is a gross story, man. It's such a gross story. But I didn't have anything to wipe my butt with. So, and the only thing I had, so like my flak jacket was all muddy, right? My shorts are destroyed. My boots are fucking gone. My rifle's laying in the mud. I don't know where my flashlight is. I have nothing to wipe with. So I'm like, fuck, I guess I got to use my shirt. So I took my flak jacket off, and it was a nice, dry shirt. And it kept all the mud out. So I'm like, that's my last thing. So I'm like, I gotta fucking wipe my ass. So use my shirt. And then I threw it in there. So now I'm standing there. I'm like completely naked other than boots. And I'm like, I can't put any of this on. So I went and pulled out my poopy shorts, threw them in the little hole. Oh god, I'm gonna throw up talking about this. So, so I go get my rifle covered in mud. So now it's just my boots, my helmet, my flak jacket, nothing else, nothing else. Right? It's like wieners hanging out, everything. So, boots, flak jacket, helmet, and rifle. That's all I have. So, and I'm covered in mud, right? Well, in the middle of the desert with no lights, there's this really blue hue. It's not black. It's just it has this weird, odd blue hue. It's almost like the color of your background here on stage.
Oh wow.
And so being dark, I'm just this black silhouette standing against like this purple backdrop. So I'm kind of not sticking out like a sore thumb, but like I don't look unsuspicious, right? So I'm coming back from this completely embarrassed. I'm naked. I gotta somehow get like clothes. You know, when I went to the tent, I didn't take a pack with me or anything. So I'm going around, I'm hiding around these case bands, following like the sentries, trying not to get caught, right? And looking back, and this is what I told you earlier, is like I'm this naked dude covered in mud with a gun that looks pretty primitive, sneaking around in a war zone that's heavily protected, right? Like trying to infiltrate a base. I'm like, this doesn't look good, man. So I was like, well, what do I do? So I ran back to the tent. Luckily, nobody saw me and I was naked. I ran through that entire airport with my dick hanging out, with my rifle, leaving muddy footprints all the way. I got back to the truck and somehow I felt fine. The VD said everything was gone. Like whatever happened
Wow.
in that situation, I was completely fine. I had no fever. I was like super thirsty. I got back to the truck. I knocked on the door. We had like this little knock that you would do, and that way somebody knows if it's. We would essentially like say we're busy, you know, if other people came knocking, so we didn't have to work.
Right.
So I did this little secret knock. My staff sergeant opens the door and he looks at me. He goes, "What the fuck happened to you?" I'm like, "Dude, it is a long." I'm like, "I don't know if I'm covered in shit or what." He goes, "God damn it!" So he walked me over to like the side of the airport that had a hose that was connected, and he sprayed me off with his ice cold water. And then sprayed all this crap off me. Went to my bag, got me my shorts and stuff and sleeping bag, and then just went to sleep. And the next day, woke up, put on my camis, and I was like, okay, well, nobody knows about this. That staff sergeant went and told everybody.
Of course.
Every single person. Yeah. So they called me shitty britches for a couple weeks, and I pooped something. I can't remember, but yeah.
Maybe that's where the phrase subconsciously came from, hairy butts. Maybe that was some sort of.
Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe. I like that story's still like every time I talk about it, like I get all like.
That's some real PTSD right there, folks. If you think it's all shooting and looting, it's all shitting and mudding.
Shitting and. The hardest part, actually, the worst part about that whole thing was trying to clean my rifle.
Oh Lord!
It was just covered in something. The next day it was caked, and then all that dried mud debris was in it. I mean, it took me hours to. That was the worst part. I wasn't really worried about the shit because it made a good story. But
and you probably learned from the Phantom Whacker, not the Phantom Whacker, but the other Phantom Whacker number 2. Did you own up to it?
Oh.
Did you own up to the story?
Well, I didn't know. I woke up just thinking it was going to be like, I'm like, you know what? If nobody knows, I'm just not going to tell them. And then at Chow, like, I mean, it was nonstop. Like people were like, hey, want a soggy shit burger? And I mean, they just gave me shit. So like, I was just like, well, it's out. So I'm like, yeah, I fucking, yeah. That was it. But yeah, I was like the kid that farted in class for a couple of days.
Oh God.
It's amazing you found that story. I'm curious what
it's all across social media, and I had to hear it. I had to hear the famous Harry Butts soggy shit burger story.
That's it. And when I say covered, I mean covered, like the Predator movie. It wasn't like I had a little bit. And to this day, I don't know how much was shit and how much was mud. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it together right here. I'm trying to keep it together. Folks, we're gonna need a quick commercial break so I can feel this.
Yeah.
I can get this out of my system the same way that Harry Butts got that out of his system physically. We'll be right back after this commercial break with more Harry Butts. We are back from commercial break with the HarryButts1. Now, from all of that military, vigorous uh, 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 bodily fluids and phantom whacking. How does that now translate into streaming Warzone? How does that come into play?
I don't know. I don't like the. It's kind of an odd thing to explain. It's kind of weird. Like I don't like the new war movies. But I kind of like the World War II, World War I era ones. I love them.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't really like. Yeah, they're awesome. So I never really.
What was that
I used
one?
to watch them all the time.
Hacksaw Ridge?
Hacksaw Ridge. I watch Fury, the tank movie, is
Oh
another good
yeah.
one. Yeah, that was badass.
I love them all. So you're
Saving
saying that
Private
you don't
Ryan, yeah.
normally play like the new Modern Warfare, why is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't play like war game. Well, like battleships and tanks, but yeah, like first person shooters as far as war games, and I never really super got into until Warzone came out. And my kid always wanted to play Fortnite. Is how this started. And
course.
so I got a computer. Yeah, and he had his friend, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like 13-year-olds talk an exorbitant amount of shit, and like my first instinct is to hit him, right? Like they'll lay you out, man. You're 13. But so him and his friends get on and they want to play Fortnite, and I've never played this fucking game, right? So when you play something, you kind of like, hey man, here's the controls, or when you showed your friend how to play Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, something like that, you're like, here's the controls, got it, and they go, yeah, and then you just light them up. So that's kind of what they did, and then they were talking shit, like, he had a really good one, like his friend said something, right, and I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, holy shit, this fucking kid. And then you couldn't do anything about it because he's 2,000 miles away. I can't drown him. And then as he's playing, I can't shoot him. They're just demolishing me with that build stuff. So I'm like, all right, fuck this game. So Warzone came out. I'm like, okay, this is more my speed. It's got guns, grenades, no crazy cartoon traps or whatever. So after getting my ass beat in Fortnite that bad, I wasn't bad at Warzone. But I'm a respawner, so plunder's our thing. And then Sugar Drawers, she actually got mad because she lives an hour away. So when she would come out and visit for the weekends, she would say, hey, I don't care, play all you want during the week. She goes, but if I'm driving out here all this time on the weekend, just don't play Warzone when I'm here. I feel like it's kind of wasted time, which is a good point, right? So I'm like, you know what? Maybe why don't you try it? So she gets on there, and like the first time she tries it, like she had a hard time getting the controls because she played Xbox. She's playing keyboard and
Oh,
mouse.
but you used the game before.
A little bit, like she played old school, like Mario Kart and stuff. Nothing recent, but she was used to control. So once she got the keyboard down, she got good. And I think at the time, for a single game of Plunder, I was averaging like 800,000 and like 11 kills. Like I was owning that game. And she would get like 58,000. We'd all kind of razz her a little bit. We met kind of a little crew. And then she started playing this during the week. And I worked at the time 9 to 5, and then I had to work at midnights time. So I didn't have a whole lot of time in the evening. So weekends was when I would jam. And she would tell me, she's like, yeah, I played a couple of minutes this week. I go on there. She has like $1.1 billion. She's averaging like 1.1 million by herself per game to this day. I think she had 1.3 million by herself the other night. And she opened something like 62 chests.
Holy
so
cow.
she's like, yeah, she's up. I mean, fuck, I played it when it first came out, a year and a half or something. She's only been playing it for 7 months. I think she's at like $4 billion. I was making fun of her because she only had like 30 kills, and now she's up to like 3,000 kills.
Wow.
I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, she's insane. So how that switch happened, I don't know. So now the only reason I play it's just to, kind of be social with her and my kid and figure out what the fuck she's doing. She's got these little runs. I can't figure them out, man.
I was watching some of the stream to study for this interview, and I had seen a clip of her riding a quad, and you were on the back, and she was just moving through this map like she had it totally memorized, and she was running people over on the quad like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely crazy.
I think that was last night. Yeah, dude, I don't know how she does it. It was actually one of her friends that well, first of all, when we first met, right, we were doing the videos, and I was like, man, this guy's got some awesome stuff, like the whole shtick with I'm sorry, your face.
It's
Not
hey,
nice.
hey, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hair too. I was like, this is kind of awesome. So then that kind of motivated me to kind of do a little higher quality, videos. And I never took video editing, so I'm kind of learning it as I go. and she couldn't drive. Like she could not drive. I don't know what it was about it, but you would get in a car, she would run into fences, she would blow herself up. Like she could not do it. And that made for such great clips. And now that she's good, they're kind of fewer and far between. You know, it's more like check out this really cool play we made instead of the fun stuff.
The
But I mean, you know,
boofs, as they say.
yeah.
Well, that's
So-
what I wanted to talk about as well. Excuse me. You've been featured on Grimm Hollywood's Hollywood's Finest many, many times. And your editing skills are incredible. I've seen you also on TikTok. You're sort of breaking into TikTok here, which is what a lot of the gamers and streamers are wishing to do. Do you have any? What makes a good TikTok clip, in your humble opinion?
Well, I guess it depends on like. There's things I noticed about TikTok that's kind of weird. Is like people will. Like there's this reaction thing when somebody makes a really good video, you can stitch it and just sit there and watch it, and somehow you get likes for their work. Like I'm not a fan of that. So I was trying to go back to the original. So if you are watching TikTok and somebody stitched it and they're just sitting there watching it, click on the bottom and go to the original video. Give those guys some credit.
Yeah, you freaky landlubbers. I don't know landlubbers.
I don't know. But yeah, I actually went through, and it's if you're gonna get into TikTok, like I think I stitched some gamer, Deadly Dill Gaming. He's a ginger, you know, the best ginger. I'm not sure if you've seen him yet, but he posts a little too much for me at this point. But I had stitched something on him when I first started, and I got something like 800 followers within a couple hours.
Wow.
And then I met some people on there and kind of got some tips on editing and kind of, you know, try to emulate what they were doing. And then it's just grown a little bit. I think I'm up to 1,100, you know, I mean, trying to get something. But the one thing I noticed is I went through the videos seeing which one have the most views and likes. And it seems like no matter who, 20% of your views are going to be likes. It's kind of like what I'm judging it on. And it's always like me and Sugar, like Christmas shopping, her making me Christmas shop was one of the most popular. Another one was like filming my dog, or like me and my dog in my car. Like the actual edited videos aren't really what's popular on it. So
interesting.
People want to see your face, you know, like.
Yeah.
I think more in the videos.
Interesting.
What are your thoughts?
Very well. It is interesting because from what I know, it's Chinese, and girls used to dance with their booties on it. But recently, it's changed, and it seems to be more of a accessible platform for a whole bunch of different avenues. So you have gaming on it, you have comedy, you have new memes and stuff like that. But it seems to be a really hot platform for gamers. And I know that Grimm Hollywood, that POS, I know that he is trying to break into the TikTok game.
Yeah, I saw you on there, man. But you're getting popular. Like your streams are popular. Every time I see you streaming, you got at least 10 or 12 viewers. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's Grimm Hollywood. I despise the man, but he's recently hosting this talk show on his show. People keep saying that we look alike. I don't see it at all. I think I'm a much more handsome figure. But it is interesting seeing your TikTok clips and how you edit them with films. I think that's such a smart one.
Yeah.
A way to do it. Your Chuck Norris one is so choice.
Yeah, I actually kind of stole that idea. I've seen a couple done, but it was the guy from the sniper from Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
I think is the one
yes.
I saw. You know, where he's doing his prayer, he's lighting those dudes up. Somebody did one off that, which is pretty cool. I just thought Chuck Norris would be a little better, but
it's really smart. It's really smart. Well, how long have you been doing this streaming dealio for? And also, what made you, why streaming? We discussed why Warzone, and you wanted to connect with your son. But what was the jump from gaming with your son to wanting to stream? Because that's a big jump.
I don't know. I think it was just, with the COVID thing, and we were stuck at home and we were playing. But I mean, I can play so much until I kind of get worn out a little bit. So kind of wanted to, I don't know. I mean, anything in excess is going to start being boring, right? Or bland. So maybe it was a way to interject stuff. And I was always kind of curious anyway how you would project that. And like I always kind of wanted to edit films. I always thought there was like funny, like the movie clips. I don't know. I always thought it would be really cool, like voiceover movies or something like that. So I kind of got into OBS and figured out a lot of stuff, what to do, watched some YouTube videos and figured it out. And then when we were streaming one day, I think somebody just came in. I think it was Toxic Monkey, actually. I'm not sure if you've seen him. He hasn't been on lately, but Toxic Monkey's been following from like day one. And yeah, I mean, it was just like that, and it was cool. And then like more people came in and seeing people kind of engage, which I'm sure, you've seen like when you get the whole chat going and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Well, you have a
So,
very cool way to engage your viewers doing a thing called, what was it, the Wheel of Dare or Wheel of Death?
the HarryButts Wheel of Death.
The HarryButts Wheel of Death. Can you explain that for the people who out here who aren't
Yeah,
familiar with that?
It's I actually had to put it on the Twitch and say that you have to tip a couple bucks to use it because I couldn't even play the game with how many people kept using it.
Wow.
But I wanted to keep it. And of course, you charge anybody, even $2. Nobody's going to be like, screw that. But every once in a while, you'll get somebody. So it's this wheel that pops up. No matter what we're doing in game, it's usually Dragon, Sugar, and I playing. And anytime when that Wheel of Death comes up, we'll just randomly do it. The wheel comes up, you spin it, and it lands on somebody. When it lands on somebody, you choose how they die. And no matter where we could be in first place with 10 seconds left, if that's the choice, it is what it is. You have to respect the wheel. And yeah, I think you saw it. We got ran over by a train. I had to sing Staying Alive. Somebody,
yes.
Yeah.
That was great. I saw one where you had to drive, I think, one of your friends off a cliff.
Yeah, I had to drive Dragon off the cliff. It's all kind of weird stuff, Or like, I think my favorite one was like stand in the middle of, where was it? Stand in the middle of like with that area in front of the dam, by the tower, by the airplane tower. It was like just stand out in the middle of the runway and get sniped. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Dragon. I want to say it was one of the other guys we play with. He stood there for 5 minutes. Like just right out in the open, and nobody shot him. Like nobody took a shot at him. Nobody tried to run over. Like a car passed him. Wow! I can't believe this shit. I'm sitting here for 5 minutes, like nobody's shooting me. So he couldn't do anything. He couldn't die. He couldn't play the game. He just had to get shot, and eventually somebody got him. But
he was thankful at
I
that
can't
point.
run. Yeah, right. It's covered in shit standing in front of the.
Little familiar, hey Harry.
Yeah, brings back memories.
Speaking of sniping, you were very impressive with that Car 98. Do you use on Warzone?
Oh yeah, I love that thing.
You are very impressive with that beast.
Oh, I love it. It's hard to not be impressed with that gun. I don't know why they haven't nerfed it, but thank you. Yeah, I like
you just sitting up there. I think the most recent stream I was watching to study for this interview, you were just sitting up in the sniper nest, very, very Saving Private Ryan style, and just pinging people. And people were trying to land on the roof, killing you, and you were still killing them, then go back to sniping. Then you would kill them again, go back to sniping. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, that was that guy that him and his buddy kept coming back and back and back, right?
Yeah, and they were just like, why is this happening?
I know. Like by the third time, I was like, I know this guy's cussing at me, and I wanted to turn on the hot mics because I know he was saying some shit, but I couldn't get it. Yeah, I remember that. It was just like this constant influx of a couple people, and then Sugar's in the train station just clearing that thing out, and I don't know, man. That's a fun. I mean, there are people that go in there, just to level up guns, which is kind of cool. Sugar hates losing. I could go in there and try to like get the money, but then I'm really easy. Like if you shoot at me once, I'll just chase you across the map. Like I don't know why that bothers me. So then it turns into a gunfight, and so I don't know. It seems to work out different.
No, well,
you play Plunder, don't you?
I've never played video games before. Grimm Hollywood. He plays. I think he plays he likes the rebirthing, and he likes the jump. He likes the battle royale mode, and I think he plays everything. That POS plays basically everything.
Like, what a jerk.
I'm pretty sure.
I think I seen him playing Rebirth. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
9 kills or something. I don't even get that.
Really, being a sniper legend. How many? I mean,
really don't.
Being in the military, having that real experience, does that transfer over into video games?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
I think actually, no, not at all. There was a. I mean, it's a cartoon. It's a game. It's different. I mean, the guns look similar, I guess, but they actually had this thing. I saw it on YouTube there's a bunch of Call of Duty players, or some kind of online team, and they took on a team of I won't say it was Army guys or something like that. It wasn't Marines, but it was like actual like military guys against a team of like 8 Call of Duty players that have been playing together for years.
Was this in a video game that they played against each other, or?
No, this was in real life. They were in a paintball thing, and they were going to play each other. So I guess somebody wanted to find this out. So they interviewed the Army guys, and they didn't look like they were special forces. They just looked like kind of regular Army dudes, but they still had boot camp training, maybe some combat training. And they're like, yeah, we're going to win. Like this is what we do, And then the Call of Duty players were so obnoxiously confident in themselves, saying that like we trained together for years, like we have great communication, and that overlaps, and goes, you may do it, but we do it like 8 hours a night every day. And they were just, this isn't going to go good. And those Army guys kicked the shit out of them. Like I don't even think like one got hit. I mean, they annihilated them within a minute. So it was just this really funny thing. And then afterwards, just like, well, they're pretty good, they have pretty good teamwork, and they're just covered in paint. I'm sure you could find it on YouTube. I wish I would have brought the link, but it was great.
Wow. So you're basically saying never challenge you in paintball.
I haven't played paintball, but I mean,
okay, never.
Plus I'm old now, man. Young Harry could have done that crap.
Well, you're basically saying don't step up on your shit because you'll get rocked.
Yes. You'll get rocked, yeah. And I'm also saying if you play Call of Duty, yeah, it doesn't transfer.
Did you play video games before joining the military?
I did, but it was I went in, I want to say December '97, so it was like like arcades were kind of still around. So it was
okay.
NBA
So there
Jam,
wasn't
Mortal
this
Kombat.
simulation war, none of that.
No, nothing like this. No, it was. I think the most popular game at the time was Street Fighter 2 when I went in, or Mortal Kombat 2 or something like that.
So yeah, you can't Hadouken somebody out on the field.
Yeah, there was no. I don't even remember. Well, there was GoldenEye. There was the James Bond GoldenEye game. I think was like the main jam.
One of Grimm Hollywood's favorites.
Oh, it's awesome. I actually tried playing that maybe a year or two ago. I remember being really, really good at that. I'm horrible at it now.
It's all apparently, from what I've read, it's all hip firing. It's like the game to hip firing. No,
I don't remember. I just remember getting killed all the time. So how they were doing it, I don't know. But I remember the game being more fun. But like with it, the advancements now in the games now. I mean, that thing, it's still a classic. But if you go back to it,
yeah, it's funny how that happens. How technology is going so quick now. Not that I would know it. I don't own a computer. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. But from what I hear, it's like every year everything's getting updated. Every single year it's going way too quick, which will bring me to some more questions about E3 and your thoughts on the future of streaming. After this short break, we'll be right back with HarryButts1.
Super.
Two teams, gamers and soldiers.
Gamers gonna win because we have pro strats.
We practice our comms like with our team every single day, so I think we'll have really good communication.
I think it's gonna be relatively easy. I think they're gonna be a little bit cocky based on playing the video game and actually doing it.
We actually basically play paintball every day when we train like this in the Army. We have just a little different version of it, so I think it's really gonna play to our advantage.
A hit to the mask obscures Tom's vision, causing him to fire at his teammate Ethan.
Oh, that's Ethan? What the f? You shot me? Bitch!
Unfortunately, he hits her and her gun, and she's eliminated.
Took my thing off! Before we got out the door, we were already hearing shots fired.
Torres takes advantage of the moment to eliminate Tom from the game.
Hey.
On a roll, Torres locates and eliminates David next. Only Linny is left standing. Roseboro has her cornered. The remaining soldiers plan their next move carefully. Lenny is eliminated, and the soldiers win the final game.
They were good. Like the hand coordination, the physicality of it. Respect it.
First round, pretty impressive.
Yeah, first round, pretty impressive.
Only first round, not first round.
Only first round.
We didn't show anything else after that. So.
I was super surprised by the skill set they had. It was amazing.
I wasn't surprised at all.
Me either.
I mean, the amount of welts I had on me.
This is what they do for a living.
I definitely had fun. It was really cool just talking to a couple of the guys and actually knowing that they play like the same games that we do, and they invited us to like their Discord server, so I thought that was really nice and cool.
It's cool to see a mix of like real-life soldiers and in-game soldiers playing on the same battlefield.
Definitely had fun. It was the first time I ever played paintball, and to play against professional gamers is pretty awesome.
It was fun. I only played the last 2 rounds, so technically I'm undefeated against them.
I think I'm gonna stick to video games. I'm not gonna lie.
We are back with HarryButts1. We are going to be talking about you were recently moving. Where are you moving to and why? I thought that at the humble age of 65 you'd be settled down by now.
Yeah, 65, 64. Come on. You threw me off with that one. No, I'm moving to South Carolina because this housing market is insane. So it'd be stupid to not sell your house is the way I look at it. So
True.
I had a lot of equity in there. The job is stressing me out. I had a little bit of a mild heart attack beginning of last year. Yeah, and like these gray hairs, I mean I look beautiful now, but these gray hairs on the chin, those weren't there a year ago. And it's just bags under my eyes. I was just getting stressed out and just wasn't happy and stuff. So yeah, I just decided to sell my house, and I was trying to buy something else smaller here. I bought it, got divorced, and I have this like big roomy house, but it's just me and my son and my dog and Trigger when she comes over, But yeah, it's just too much for me. I felt like it was wasted money. So then I looked around thinking I can get, like even a rental or something for a year to, figure out like a career change. And yeah, like the prices are insane. Like people are overpaying by $50,000 in cash plus closing costs, and like
right, that's unheard of.
People coming out of California have that money, but we don't,
Right.
Yeah.
No.
So
where are you right now, Harry? Where do you live right now?
I'm in Utah right now.
Utah
for another week. Yeah.
Is that even in America? Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's in that expansive like Northwest thing that nobody knows about for some reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're moving. Why South Carolina, though? Specifically South Carolina? Was it mainly the moolah or job?
No, it's nothing like that. It's
because that's way on the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, and my last duty station was in North Carolina, and I liked North Carolina. I liked the Carolinas.
Okay.
I always kind of wanted to go back, But as far as the house, it was actually Sugar George that found the house or found the little town. And it's called Fountain Inn in South Carolina, and it's a town of like 10,000. So out there the house, I'm not sure where you're at, but the housing market's insane from the California people coming out. And
yeah.
So people just keep kind of moving around trying to essentially get away from us, like anybody here would say, like, get the fuck out of here, people aren't liking it because they're just buying everything up. So everybody here that has lived here for years can't afford houses, and it's driving everybody kind of nuts. So I looked around for the most affordable housing. I think one place was Indiana, and then the one that Sugar found was in South Carolina. And you can get a mansion for like $400,000. Whereas out where I live right now, $400,000 will get you like, a 1-bedroom kind of shitty house with a dead yard.
Yeah.
But out there, you could live like a king. So I went out there and got a nice house, and they were a pond. Middle of a forest. It's like 20 miles from like the first big city. And
no way, you're going to be living in a forest?
Well, it's like the edge of so it's like the suburb of a suburb. So this little neighborhood I'm in is like maybe 20 houses.
Wow.
And then there's just farms for the next 10 miles, and then it gets into Fountain Inn, which is the small town of 10,000, and then that's 20 minutes south of Greenville, which is pretty decent size. So yeah, like it's a classic country, just one-way road as long as you can see people riding ATVs or something up it. So it's
That sounds
I mean,
great.
it does sound great.
That
I
sounds
just wish.
great. So when are you making this move?
Been-
When's this? This is a big deal.
Yeah, this is Sunday.
Wow.
I think Sugar and I. Well, so it's been a problem, right? Like they're just getting everything wrong. Like everything's wrong. My earnest money, somebody just wrote it down wrong, and it's just a pain. So we didn't get to go to our original closing date, which was a couple of days ago. So Southwest, I don't have a whole lot of confidence this will work, but they supposedly gave me credit for the tickets that I bought. So Sugar and I could fly out there on Wednesday. So
great.
I have to clean out the house, have everything packed, fly out to close on the house, and then start driving there next Sunday. So 7 days from now.
That's going to be a long drive. This is going to be a fun road trip, huh?
It's 31 hours.
31
according to
hours?
Google. 31 driving hours.
Wow. How many days? Like,
Is
how
that-
are you going to plan this out? How many days are you going to take?
I don't know, dude. I was thinking, 8 hours a day. That's essentially a full day's work. So I think I'm just going to crush. The boring states are here, right? Once you get out of Utah, you're kind of bored for. I mean, what are you going to see? Like the plains? Cool.
Yeah.
So I think during that whole first day, I'm just going to try and knock out, 15, 16 hours, or as many as I can, just till I'm exhausted. And that way, I can kind of, I never really been past, I guess the midline or Kansas, other than years ago. So that way I could take a few hours each day and kind of enjoy stuff. Driving through Kansas City. I'm a Chiefs fan, so that will be kind of cool.
Go Chiefs. I love baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
home run.
Slam-a-do with Slim Jim.
Slam-a-do.
Well, that's exciting. There's probably a contrast and some juxtapositions we can draw between streaming, road trips, and snacks. What are your go-to snacks you'll be having on this road trip?
God, snacks. I'm always kind of a beef jerky guy, but I usually eat the whole bag so your stomach ache.
You can't not eat that entire bag.
No, dude, the whole bag. So if I get the peppered stuff, that'll slow me down a bit. Like I'm a dog. You gotta I'll eat the hell out of that super fast, man. Same with Burger King and Whoppers. I don't know. I get a stomach ache every time I crush it.
Yeah, I can't do KFC. I'll vomit every time I have KFC.
KFC for real?
Yeah, I can't do it. I try to get into it. Then I'll wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and just upchuck.
That's weird. I don't know. I love KFC, man.
I wish I could. I enjoy eating it. I love it. I'm there. I'm in the grub of it. And then right in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., I wake up in sweats. It's
Really?
awful.
Are you allergic to one of their 11 herbs and spices?
Probably. Maybe all 11 herbs and spices.
Dude, that sucks, man.
They probably
Because
put
they have the
penicillin
best
in it.
mashed potatoes. I don't know what they put in, but that shit's good, man. Potatoes mix it. Did you see what they do now? You know how how you eat KFC, right? You have you get a leg. You have to get a leg, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you
the
mix
bucket.
the potato gravy and the slaw, and you eat that. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody eats it kind of the same. You mix it up and it just tastes good no matter how you do it.
Yeah.
Now they have bowls that are pre-mixed, so you get these, and it's essentially like little popcorn chicken in the potatoes with the slaw in it and the gravy. I'm like, fuck.
Whoa.
Dude. It's
God
the best
damn
thing on this planet. I know, right? I mean, that might be worth a 3 a.m. vomit.
Well, Catherine, we're
They're
heading
pretty-
there right now after the show. We're
pretty
going.
good, yeah.
And you're buying.
I'll buy.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Well-
guess snacks. I don't know. Monsters.
Sunflower seeds. Do some sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
Every gas station has them. Good way to just keep your mouth busy. Heyo.
That's true. That's what she said. I don't know if that'll work.
That's. Yeah, that works. Women and fellatio jokes. Let's go, everybody. Come on.
Fellatio jokes and fart jokes.
And shit all over your body.
And shit all over your body.
We're going to do a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back with Harry Butts and his take on E3 and a whole bunch of other Snap-a-Dooba Slim Jims. We'll be right back. We are back from that beautiful, beautiful commercial break with a beautiful, beautiful man, Harry Butts, with a beautiful, beautiful beard and a beautiful headset. What headset are you rocking, Harry?
Steel Series something. I don't know.
Steel Series. Is there steel in it?
No. You know what? I always thought those were the cool ones, you know? 'Cause I wanted to get some nice headphones that'll last, but Steel Series seemed to be the thing, or a Steel Series keyboard. But they're just plastic, but they last really. I mean, they're really good. I mean, one charge lasts 15 hours, so I mean.
Hey, there you go.
Can't ask for better than that.
Yeah, you can't. Speaking of headphones, technology, video games, E3 is happening right now. Are you, and happened last weekend because this interview is completely live. What are you excited for coming out in video games here this year, and especially for your streaming career?
The main one's Battlefield. Right?
Battlefield.
I have this. I don't want to dog. I mean, if you look at my stream, I'm really verbal about Activision sometimes. The frustration of Call of Duty.
What's so frustrating about Call of Duty before we hit up Battlefield?
I don't know. It's really easy to rage quit at that game because there's no. The problem is when they give it free to everybody, they can't IP block everybody, right?
Oh.
So cheaters, you can cheat all you want. You get caught, you just start a new account, right? So that cheating's never gonna get gone. And now there's people cheating in Plunder, and it's blatant now. There's actually dedicated TikTok channels to people that are blatantly cheating, like using wall hacks, using aimbot. And now they're not even hired in, but they're getting promoted. Then people are sharing that by the thousands. The more that gets shared,
so it's becoming cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen replays to where, and this is when I rage quit. Like sometimes that game, I get the servers and the ping, and you'll shoot somebody and hear 5 or 6 impacts, but on their replay, like none of your bullets hit them. So that kind of once that starts happening,
I've seen that. I've seen that on your stream many times where you will have them dead to rights, and for some reason it just doesn't register. The bullet registry, that's what they call it, I think. The bullet registry is just not consistent.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's frustrating enough. And then when you watch it and you're walking, you're behind a wall in the replay, and they're tracking you through the wall. And the second you come out, they shoot you. I mean, that's obviously cheating.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't play the the Battle Royale too much. I mean, because then you got cheaters in there, so then you run around for 20 minutes, you get killed by some cheating sniper, right, or a shield guy. It's not fun to me, and it's supposed to be an outlet, and when that outlet's just a pain in the ass. But I have this feeling like, I mean, going into Battlefield, that when they release that game, I have a feeling all the Warzone problems are going to get cured. They're going to have new anti-hacking software. They're going to fix this thing. I guess there's this thing now to where like you can't invite people into your clan, depending on what consoles you're on. And that's been a problem forever. There's audio problems, like all this shit that they can just easily fix or update. But instead, they're giving us Rambo, John McClane. But once Battlefield comes out, that eliminates that monopoly on the Battle Royale, right? And like the best way to get high quality stuff is to like have competition.
Truly, truly. Why are you so excited about Battlefield? All I'm hearing is Battlefield, Battlefield. Why is everybody so excited about this game, do you think? Besides, a break and a reprieve from Call of Duty.
I think, well, yeah, maybe it's that. I think people are super, super frustrated about Warzone. Like the hacking thing is insane. And I was never a Battlefield fan, but one that I did play, it's more realistic, I want to say. And when I say that, it's like relative to Call of Duty. I mean, come on, you're not going to be parachuting off buildings and killing people, stuff like that. And to that regard, Battlefield's got its own fantastic deals, but it has realistic bullet drop. And the last time I played it, it wasn't just a run and gun game. You actually had to have some kind of technique.
What was the
So I
last
guess
Battlefield you played? Sorry to interject.
God, I don't even know what it was called. It was could be a time frame. It was on PlayStation 3, I think, but it was was it PlayStation 3 or 4?
Was it with the jets? Was there jets that you could fly in it?
I think there were helicopters. I don't remember seeing any jets. I only
That
played
would
it for
have
a little
been.
bit.
I think Catherine's a huge gamer. I think that would have been Battlefield. Was it Catherine? Bad Company.
Bad Company. That sounds familiar. I think that might have been it.
The Bad Company.
But
one.
yeah, I remember that you kind of had to sneak around or be a little more stealthy. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Which is kind of like the more I'd rather play. I mean, it's not realistic by any means, but it's still more. It kind of gives you that tact that you need.
Right.
Whereas Call of Duty is just sit in a corner and get killed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
What do you think
I don't
about
know,
the
I'm excited for it
tornadoes?
just to try something different.
What do you think about tornadoes? They're putting tornadoes in the game. I'm seeing.
In Battlefield?
In the new Battlefield, they're putting tornadoes that come through sometimes and wreck the map.
I didn't see that. I just saw like a little bit of a trailer, and in fact, aren't they doing they should have a live gameplay out, right?
I think they should. I think it's happening, or it happened last weekend because this interview is completely live on this Tuesday, on Tuesday today of the day. But I think it happened last weekend. Yeah. So we'll have to.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool to have tornadoes, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I think it would definitely. I know Catherine. She's all about it. She keeps telling me it would put something new into a shooter with having was it Catherine, the destructible environments. So if a tornado comes through, I'm imagining, and ruins a building that you're camping in, you have to move. So it creates another third-party element.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be fun. That'd be fun. And it makes it. It seems I can imagine, not being a gamer myself, that it would just make it more fun, like I imagine video games used to be, instead of this esports sweat fest that they're talking about.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be fun. I mean, I can't imagine like being in a tower sniping somebody, then of all things you die by tornado. That kind of pissed me off. But I mean, this is something new, right?
I'm sure you
Acts of
could.
God.
Yeah, I'm sure you can incorporate the Wheel of Death into that somehow. Run into a tornado and die.
Yeah, that's the other challenge. I know. I'm just excited. I heard it's not gonna have I like the campaign modes on the games, which the Call of Duty ones I think is pretty cool. But I don't think Battlefield's having a campaign mode or a battle royale. I think it's just like massive team death matches is what it is. I think 200 something players.
200 people?
I think they said that. I mean, don't take that for what it is. I've been reading a lot, so who knows what's true. But I heard it's supposed to be 200, 250 people, but it's 2 teams. And the map, supposedly, from this guy I saw the other day, said it's 3 times bigger than Verdansk. So,
wow.
I don't know. I don't know how much of that is true.
Wow.
But I know, right? But it has jets and all that stuff. So
you got to get me into this, Catherine. I'd love to be right Harry's side and Sugar's side, holding down the fort. Yeah.
But I kind of like that. I think there was a huge team deathmatch mode in Call of Duty that they would release every once in a while. Do you remember that? And it would be like a section of Verdansk.
I read about this. It was ground war.
Yeah, ground war.
Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome. I love that. I don't know why it's gone or why they keep changing stuff.
They took
like
that out of the
hostage.
game. Huh.
I'm not sure if it's there now. I mean,
Interesting. So you're moving on this Sunday. When are you going to be getting your streamer set up again? After you get your are you excited to set up your man cave in the new spot?
Yeah, I am.
Sorry
I
for
got a
using
pretty
phrase,
good one right here.
Man cave. It looks great.
Person cave.
You used to have that blue lights on your wall. It was like a blue design of something.
Yeah, I still got it over here. It's those. I think. Let me see if I can. These guys.
Yeah, I like that. At night or whatever, in the darkness, they glow up blue and they just look incredible on the stream.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. They're but sorry.
No, thank you.
Let's see here.
You're the TV operator right now.
God, I'm a horrible one.
No, you're doing great. You're better. Already better than our director over here. Stop eating the ham sandwich, buddy, please.
No, I had to stop using those things because I went to the NVIDIA. You have an NVIDIA card. They have that super cool NVIDIA broadcast, and it essentially green screens yourself.
I saw that you just switched over to a green screen setup on your thing from doing the camera. How do you like the switch from the camera to a green screen?
I don't know. I think it's cooler because you can make yourself bigger, and it looks more involved in the game, I guess.
It does.
You don't look, separate. But the only reason I went to that is when I downloaded a template from Streamlabs, and then I don't know why. I think I was trying to hide it, but I deleted the camera border. So I can't figure out how to get it back. And I really once you start messing with OBS, I like to set it and forget it. But once I start messing with something, I mess with something else, and then I'm here all night. So I found out the NVIDIA thing had this green screen. You one click it, and it takes out the entire background for you. So it's really good technology. I mean, it's not as good as a green screen. You see that there's some choppiness around you, but yeah, I don't know. I like it a little better.
I like it. It looks great. It looks great. We were drawn to you, Harry, in this interview because you are a kind person. Your stream has good vibes, and it's enjoyable being in your presence as you mow down motherfuckers on the field. I'm a fan.
Thanks.
I'm a fan, and I know everyone here watching is now made a fan. So, Harry, when you're moving Sunday, do you have any streams planned after this Tuesday before you do the big move?
Probably not. I mean, tomorrow I get the dumpster here, to get rid of all the garage stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's a pretty busy week. So I might try to hop on, but probably not. So I don't even think anything till the 26th, maybe 25th. I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I had more information, but
late June. We'll be watching for you, Harry. We'll be watching for you.
Get on once or twice because how much work I can get done.
Well, before we end this interview, I'd like to do a questionnaire made famous by Bernard Pivot and most recently made famous by James Lipton of the Actors Studio. We've literally just stolen his questionnaire and we used it on the show. Harry, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Yes.
It's a French word and it's puis. P-U-I-S.
What does that mean?
I have no idea what it means. I remember I was in French class in 8th grade and she said puis and I don't know why it struck me funny. I've never forgotten that stupid word. I have no idea.
You still stay up at night just going puis.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I had a crush on my French teacher and the way she said it and her lips. I don't know. It was something, but I just
French
never forgot
girls.
that
French
word.
girls. Am I right?
I don't know. I don't even want to look at what it looks like, or what it is. I just want to leave that mystery.
Just keep that memory sacred.
Something like that.
What is your least favorite word, Harry?
My least favorite word?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of questions are these?
This is a questionnaire made famous by Bernard Pivot and James Lipton of the Actors Studio.
Is there a trick at the end or something?
No, this is just we're actually.
Wait. Can it be inspirational?
It could be whatever HarryButts1, whatever his least favorite word is.
Can't.
Can't. That's very good. That's very good.
You like that?
You like that?
Inspirational for a second.
Very inspirational. You must like Rocky and all that.
Well, it could be your favorite word too. I mean, when somebody wants to make dinner plans or something, you just say I can't. When you have a big group of friends going out, there's nothing better than canceling.
Oh, you get that serotonin rush. It's like heroin.
Oh, yeah. And then you lay on that couch, you just sink a little deeper. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll leave that for both words then. How about that?
All right, so your favorite and least favorite word. Pooey, can't.
Can't. Yeah.
Well, what turns you on, Harry? Creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? What turns you on?
All of those? Creative.
Just something that turns you on in that aspect, not sexually, but in spiritually or emotionally or creatively.
Gosh. God, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. When Sugar started playing Call of Duty, that kind of turned me on. I mean, she's a beautiful girl and plays Call of Duty. I mean, come on.
Hey, you can't hate on that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's when I find somebody that has no interest in something, And like, when you have a kid, like all kids hate tomatoes. Like, have you tried it? And you may love it. Like when you hate something or you just don't like it, but you haven't tried it, and you try it, and it ends up to be like a staple in your life. I don't know. I like that.
And you enjoy showing somebody something that they've never seen or done before, and they go, "Hey, I like this."
Yeah, and me too. I mean, there's some stuff. I think Sugar George ate. That's gonna sound gross, I guess, but we like cottage cheese. So one night she
disgusting.
took goldfish. No, are you kidding? I can eat that by the spoonful. But she got the goldfishes. Is that what they're called? The little goldfish critters?
Yeah.
She gets goldfish and mixes them in that.
No.
And I'm not lying.
No.
It's amazing.
What?
You're gonna wake up at 3 and probably shit, but it's amazing. So now, like, and I didn't know that. I liked it. I'm like, what the fuck are you eating? And then I had some. Like, holy shit, this is actually really good. So now I have like goldfish and cottage cheese in my fridge right now.
You have mixed it together already. You've pre-made.
No. You just sprinkle it on top, kind of like.
Okay. What is it? The
just
consistencies
try it.
together? Is it the crunchy and the mushy, like the?
Well, you don't like the taste of cottage cheese, right?
I can't. I don't like cheese. I don't like the color.
It's white.
Oh shit! I've only ever seen the yellow stuff.
Yellow cottage cheese?
Yeah. But when I was a kid growing up, we got the yellow stuff.
Yeah, I don't blame you then. I wouldn't eat yellow cottage cheese.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if there's white cottage cheese out there, that's, maybe give me a new insight on the cottage cheese world. Break me into the cottage cheese game.
Yeah. It's all about the texture. That's what she said. She's a really good cook. So she knows all that texture shit and spice and stuff. I'm that guy that like cooks chicken breasts with no seasoning on it. They look like little bumps of lard. I'm such a piece of shit, I know. But she mixes she'll mix food like that and make texture and experiments, and she has some really, really good stuff. So.
From what I've heard with the cottage cheese and the goldfish, does she come out with meals like, hey, here's some yogurt with Skittles in them?
I think I don't want to like give away too much, but when she has a candy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She gets the munchies, so then that's when she gets creative. And I'll come out and she'll just have weird shit, but like, it's usually like an empty press, or White Claw, whatever you call them, and then a full one that's unopened that sits there all night, a half a bag of Doritos. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So, yeah, she crushes it, but every once in a while she'll do something like the cottage cheese and fish. That was weird to me, but man, I ate it, and I'm telling you, it's awesome.
Maybe it's one of your snacks for your road trip coming up. Food for thought.
Oh, God, no, I feel like that's not a driving food. Like cereal isn't,
Maybe she could find a way to make it into a bar. Cottage cheese goldfish bar. You think about it. What?
Yeah.
Harry Butts, what turns you off?
Like the Harry Butt pet peeves.
Yeah. What turns you off?
I guess as far as gaming, do you know what the online disinhibition effect is?
No, that's a big word.
Yeah, online disinhibition effect. And this is like this thing. It's like this. It's a social study, and what it is, when we grew up and you said the wrong thing to the wrong person, you pay the price for it, right? And then you would learn to not do that anymore, right? Well, now the thing is that everybody's so connected over this stuff, social media, gaming, and everything, that there's no repercussions for that. So it's actually turning out poorer quality citizens in terms of empathy. So they're called single serving interactions. So now you can say whatever you want, and you don't have to, you're not going to get punched for it, right? And now if you do, you could play the victim again and sue somebody. And that coupled with a single serving interaction from population is, people are more apt to like flip you off in a big tan or tell you to go fuck yourself or whatever, right? Because you're gonna run into them once and there's no repercussion past that, right? And if you think about it, that's the theory, right? Is that it's making less empathy, more self-involvement, and creating people that really don't give a shit, which is essentially a sociopath, really, if you think about it.
Right.
But
that's super interesting.
If you take all that and put it into small towns, that's why small towns are always super nice, because like you're gonna see that fucking guy tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right. Wow.
So it's up to you. So it's kind of weird if you think about this. Is that, I don't mean to like kind of go off on a thing, but if you think about it, it's this forgot where I was going. I lost my train of thought. Where the hell was I going with it? I forgot. Online disinhibition effect.
Yeah, how that affects people in their day-to-day life and creates less empathy within them.
Well, and you can see it. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say is like it questions is when people say that people are naturally good, right? Like given any outside circumstances, people are naturally kind to each other. Like it brings that into question now because now now you are natural. There's no fear of anything. So when you hop on these servers and you have, the Call of Duty things, you've heard the language, right? At the end of it, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is that what you do? Like, is that what you do? You go on there and just like, is your life so unhappy that that's what you got to do and go on and say?
Yeah. It is strange how that's sort of become almost the culture of it. Like that is part of it. Like the aggression and the negativity. It's incredible. It's really, and so that's why I think a lot of people are drawn to your stream, Harry, and that's why I enjoy it, and that's why you're on the show here is because you have such great vibes. You are such a kind person, and it's just so enjoyable chilling with you. I mean, sure, you probably get razzed, but you're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
I'm sure you get razzed. Yeah, but you're not of that culture, and it's so refreshing to see.
No, it's fun. We have a pretty good crew and everybody, and there's like pretty tight. And I mean, every time Sugar's playing, like you can't help but have fun with her.
Yeah,
she's one of the ones that she never really gets mad or frustrated, and it's a game to her still, so she laughs at her. I mean, she makes it a blast, right? And then you get some randoms and play with them, and then like we all kind of hit it off, and like your community keeps growing. I don't think we have any big. We had one bad guy, but we just kind of got rid of him. I mean, it's what you gotta do.
Yeah. Weed out the weeds. Not that kind of weed, folks.
Tell me about it.
Speaking of what we were just talking about, with all that said, what is your favorite curse word?
I think motherfucker's got to be the top, right?
It is a good one. That is a choice one.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, sound or noise? I don't know. I like rivers, flowing rivers.
Babbling brooks?
I guess. Not even a babbling brook, but like a nice, kind of like the South Fork of a Boise River, right? It's about 80 feet wide, but only about 3 feet deep. And it has this really distinct kind of water over rock sound.
Yeah.
I don't know. I grew up with that.
That's
I kind of like that. It's soothing.
Well,
it's peaceful.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Fucking kids in my lawn. I mean, fucking you name it. People knocking on my door. Fucking this shit.
The sound of a bother.
No. Yeah, you know what it is the car driving by that has that absurdly loud bass. I'm old, man. Like, I hate all that shit. If it's too loud, you're too old. Yeah, I'm too old then.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, that's truly disturbing. It's as if they have a sign that says, "Please look at me. I need attention."
Yeah.
That's
I need
what that
attention
is.
that bad. I know you're going deaf in there.
What other profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
That's an odd question, and you know why? It's because I was a mechanical engineer, and then I was a car salesman, and now I'm a marketing manager.
Wow.
So yeah, like I've kind of done the switch quite a bit. So, I like the marketing thing, but if I could have anything, dude, I mean, who wouldn't want to be an athlete?
Well, for what sport?
I always wanted to play. I played football in high school, and I loved football, but yeah.
You want to play
there's
for
no
the Chiefs?
chance, right? But I would like my son to play for the Chiefs. That would be a bad Father's Day present one day,
There you
I don't
go.
know. I liked football. That was always kind of my jam. I like
Cool.
that.
What position?
Fun thing to do. I played strong safety and receiver, and that's what my kid plays.
Oh,
And,
cool. Right on. So you got him in
and
young
so
already.
going back, yeah, and he lays the wood too. But he was the same thing we were talking about earlier about trying new things. He wanted the receiver because every kid wants a ball. I'm like, man, just try safety. Trust me, I loved it. Like, hitting people is a lot more rewarding than getting hit. So
yeah,
he started off on special teams and went to safety and started hitting people. Now he doesn't want to play receiver. I'm like, fucking told you, man. You're the punishment dealer.
Yeah, right. I never thought about that. That's really interesting. I always thought that people who play, who were into football wanted to be the quarterback, the running back, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
But you're saying, no. Safety's where it's at. The SS is where it's at. Not that kind of SS.
Well,
folks.
I don't mind getting the ball, but I mean, every time you get that ball, you're gonna get hit, right?
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
I'd rather do it on my terms, you know. I mean, like I don't like that getting hit shit. But
Well, I'm very brittle. If I get hit once, I will die.
yeah.
Well,
especially by those guys now, they're insane.
Oh, jeez, Goliath.
Yeah, monster men.
What profession would you not like to do? Under any circumstances.
Under any circumstances. I don't think there's anything I would want to not do. You know what? I wouldn't want to be a babysitter. I know of all the jobs that like there's like people to clean out shitters. Like I don't care. Like babysitting, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like I can't give that much attention like in a row at a consistent rate and then deal with like scream crying.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
And it's also not your own son or daughter. It's not your own child.
Yeah.
So there's no reward for teaching them right or wrong, or right? I imagine.
Right. Yeah.
I agree. That's a bad one.
Nobody wants you to touch their kids or punish them anyway. So
right.
I don't know. I think it'd be a very unrewarding, high stress job.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, if you lose a kid, you can't just go get another one, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yikes. Well, for our last question, Harry, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
I'd like to have him say it. I mean, hey Scott, you know what? I think it'd be cool if it was just kind of a mellow thing, because it's so like overdone. Like, oh, you're gonna reach heaven. Here comes the pearly gates. And you think there's gonna be this big thing. Like, you think all the world's mysteries are gonna be solved, and then this dude just looks at you and kind of goes, "Oh, what's up, man? You were due back here tomorrow, but okay." Or just like some kind of super unprofessional, just mellow thing. So it's such a big letdown. You're like, that's it. And you just walk in and it's just,
come on in, get on in
cool.
here. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I just think like you'd be like just totally unimpressed, waiting for more. And he's like, well, what are you doing? Come on.
Yeah, there's the cottage cheese and goldfish right over there. You can help yourself.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I don't think I wish he'd say anything. Just kind of like, or I'll bet that hurt. You know what I mean?
That would be good. That would be a good one.
That'd be good. Something, I don't know.
Well, you know what's not going to hurt is when you stop on in to twitch.tv/HarryButts1 and you drop him that follow. Harry, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
And thanks for having me, dude.
Absolutely.
Love your show.
We will we'll definitely have you on again in the future. You know how Johnny Carson does it, and he keeps bringing back people and you see them. We would love to have you on the show again.
I'll have to come up with a recurring shtick. I'll figure something out.
Yeah. How about you just we'll
tell another poop story.
Yeah. There you go. Roll around some mud.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be.
Do you have any socials or any things you want to promote for the people out there, other than your Twitch?
You know what? No, Twitch. Well, and TikTok. TikTok/HarryButts.
TikTok. Find him on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Get to the address right here.
We'll get
Harry.Butts.1.
HarryButts.1 on TikTok. Go give him a follow. I'm a fan. Harry, we love you. Thank you for being on the show. Everybody, give your love to HarryButts1. We'll be back after this break. Now we just pretend like we're talking over the audience. You know how they do
blah,
talk.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Oh.
That's true. That's a cigarette.
Roads are everywhere. Birds are everywhere. She is going to kill you. It's too bad you didn't have life insurance. Geico could have covered that. That was HarryButts1 at Twitch. That's Twitch TV / Sorry, what was it, Catherine? You're all over Twitch. Twitch.tv/HarryButts1 or his TikTok, tiktok.com/HarryButts1. Great guy. What a tremendous interview. It truly made me realize that I don't want to be in the military because I don't want to shit myself and then roll around in the mud. That's the show, folks. That's the show. Hope you had a great time. You're going to be getting your $20. Everybody at home, you're getting diddly squat. Except some memories to go home with, and some higher self-esteem after witnessing myself. I'm kidding. I'm a very confident motherfucker, and I will throat chop the fuck out of you. What are we talking about censors? What are we talking about censors, Catherine? This is my show. I get to say what I say goes. Anyway, we had a great show, folks. We won't be coming back next week. But, or should I say Harry, but, we're gonna be doing a, news reel report. I've gotta sink my teeth back into that. I'm missing that. Gotta sink my teeth. I've gotta go out on the streets and expose the truth. I'm getting all cooped up in here. There's no air conditioning and it smells like cigarette smoke constantly. I've gotta quit. That cigarette's just waiting for me. Well, Catherine, what do you say we go out on the town? We can pick up some KFC chicken. Or hell, you can make some cottage cheese. Put some little goldfish in. Huh? No? You got another date tonight? Alright. Alright, guys. No, it's okay. Hey, any audience members got a pull-out couch for me to stay on? Anybody? Okay. Just look at me. Please, look at me. God damn it. God damn all of you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, hey, you want to come down here? You want to fight me? Well, you ain't just going to fight me. You're going to fight me and Gambo, my bodyguard. He will seriously break your spine in half. I've seen it happen. I wish I could unsee it. All right, guys. Get out. Thank you for nothing, really. Go follow Harry Butts, and we'll see you the week after next for another episode of The Truth with me. The world's greatest, sexiest reporter of all time. That's right. All right, I'm gonna go do a whole bunch of amphetamines and probably pass out on the street. See ya. There you go.
Meanwhile, somewhere else in Hollywood, Candy and Grimm were getting ready for the show.
Hollywood.